This is the front and rear suspension alignment tool. It's necessary to have this tool to line up the front and rear suspension so that the wheels will track straight with the Solar Sprint car on the track. What I'm going to do right now is to kind of show you how it works. This is one I've already designed, and we'll come back and design this one again for your benefit. But let's go ahead and create a new file. I'm going to call this SSC. Let me save it here real quick. I'm going to call it SSC V7, not V8. We'll call this suspension alignment test. Okay. I'm not going to create a copy of this because it's just going to be a basic assembly we're going to get rid of. Now I'm going to save this to my V7 folder, and we'll put that in there, hit save. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place, open this up. We're in V7 right now. I'm going to go ahead and take this and place it out here. And once it's placed out here, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. That'll lock it into place because you see the anchor right here on the part. We'll roll up here and see if we can find some suspension parts. I don't see them here in this folder, but we do already have them in the 8 folder. So we'll come over here to SSC 8 and open that up, and we'll place the front one in here. Now these will come in like this. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this down like that, and I'm going to go ahead and slide this forward, kind of pre-position it. Let me just roll out here a little further so you can see it. I'll come up here like this, and it's pretty simple how this thing works. You basically come in here and you place it like right here and just put a place there. And what I'm going to do is do a joint, and I'm just going to go grab this one center part right here, rotate the model up and grab that right there, and it'll line it up. Okay, so now I hit accept on that. We'll go to the 3D view. Okay, we'll roll out here and we can see how it's lined up. Now I'm going to go ahead and place the rear one in there as well. So I'm going to go and put him in here like so. Now again, this one comes in upside down, so we're going to have to fix that. So I'm going to rotate this around 180 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to do the same kind of joint operation as I did before, and I'll hit the J key for that. I'll roll up here, pan over, come up here on this, and I'll put the J key, point there. So now what we're going to do is going to roll this out, and we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to hit OK, and you'll see both parts joined together. Now what this does is that it allows you to take these 3 components and put them, and you put glue on the top edge of here, and you put glue on the top edge of here, and you flip it upside down and you attach it to the actual frame itself, this guy right here. You'll come in here and you put it in upside down underneath this, and so that way the front and rear wheels will be perfectly aligned and the car will track truer down the track as it's racing. Now going back to this assembly, this test assembly that we're talking about, let me see if I can find that. Okay, that's the assembly there. I'm going to keep that up, and let's go find that assembly real quick. This guy right here. Okay, so we're going to take this guy and we put glue on the bottom of the frame, and then we take this guy, turn it upside down, place it, and then this alignment tool makes sure that the front and the rear are perfectly aligned. So then we remove it. We don't glue this onto the car. We just remove this and get it out of the way because we're not going to need it after that. And you can see that actually in the original assembly. If I can find that guy real quick. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's do this. We'll open all these up. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, the V7 assembly. So when you take this guy and you go to 3D view of this, what happens is that that alignment tool aligns these parts up here perfectly. So that way you can just remove it after these pieces, this front and rear suspensions are glued onto the car. So that gives you a pretty good understanding. Kind of long-winded, but We need to do that so you guys can understand it. So I'm going to come over here and start looking at some parts here. Keep that one up. I'm going to go ahead and just end that because I don't need to save it. It's just something that you can see. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a new file, and in that new file I'm going to call it the do a save here, and we'll say SSSC V8, and we'll say suspension alignment tool. Highlight all that, copy this. Now we need to make sure we're going to put it in the correct directory. So I'm going to go back to this and go find my V8 directory and make sure that file is saved into that directory. Okay, so now once that's done, we'll go ahead and right mouse click, create a new component, and highlight this, Control V, and put that in there. Okay, so we're almost ready to get started. I'm going to go back to that fixture and take a look at it, and let's get our pencil out and let's get our post-it note out so we can write some notes here. So the first thing I want to do is find my post-it note. Here we go. And I'm going to write down some measurements. We'll go ahead and hit the I key for inspect. We're going to take a measurement from here to there, and that's 159.9047. And I think this other one should be about 78 millimeters, but we'll double check that. So we'll go from here to there, and yes, it is 78 millimeters. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come over and get that measurement again here, and I'm going to copy that one because that's a longer number. So we'll come over here and we'll go to the top view, as you can see, and we'll draw us a rectangle. Okay, we'll say 78 millimeters, tab, Control V. Okay, there we go. Now let's go back to that fixture and catch a quick little measurement here. It looks like 4 millimeters from this point to that point. We'll make sure we look at that. Actually, it's let's see right here. Let me take a closer look at that. It is 6 millimeters. Okay, that's good. All right, so we'll come back over here to this, and we'll do an offset to the inside. Flip that, and we'll say 6 millimeters. Whoops, wrong direction. We don't want to go two-sided. We want to go one-sided, and we want to flip that. So that's better. Okay, got that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and place a center line because I know I'm going to use it. I'm going to come up here and snap. Make sure you get center line. I'm up here and find the midpoint. Come up here to that. I'm going to turn these constraints off so I can see it, and hit my line command again, and make sure I'm set to center line. Come across here and come across there. Okay, it's a good place to take a quick little break. Come back to this in a moment. Okay, now that we've got that drawn in, let's go ahead and look back at that fixture again. Looks like we got a middle beam coming off there. Okay, that's fine. So we'll come back over here and, whoops, go back and check that one more time. Hit the inspect command. I want to get a measurement on this. Okay, that's 6 millimeters. Sounds good. Okay, just highlight that. We'll come back to here, and what we're going to do is we'll do an offset. Hit this guy here, and I can come off Control V divided by 2. Okay, so that gives me 3 millimeters. I know that's a little bit kind of a roundabout way to do it, but it does show you, how you can use equations inside of Fusion. So now I'm going to come up here and do a trim this out, get that out, move up here, get that one going, get that one going. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now let's go back to this fixture, and let's get a quick measurement from here to here. Make sure that it says it's 15 millimeters. Okay, all right, we can do that. So we'll go back to this, and we'll come in here, and we will draw us a line somewhere here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now that's still set to a center line, so I'm going to go ahead and select that line, make it a solid, and I'm going to go ahead and do a dimension from here to there, and I'm going to say 15 millimeters. Whoops, 15 millimeters. Okay, looks pretty good. I'm going to double check this one more time. Hit the inspect from here to there. Yes, it's 15 millimeters. Okay, let's go ahead and reset that. Let's get a quick measurement of this guy right here. So we'll go from here to here. That's 4 millimeters. Okay, we can make that happen. So we'll come up here, do an offset on this guy right here, and we'll flip the direction, and we'll say -4. Okay, so that's in. Now it's looking pretty good. What I'm going to do is try to construct all this geometry, then I'll mirror it to the other side. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go to a top view, because this does look different. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to catch a measurement of this to there. Okay, and that says 8.85. Sounds good. We'll come over here and draw us a line somewhere in here. I'll just put it over here, and I'll come into a dimension from there to there to Control V, 8.85. Let's check that again. We'll do that again, measure. Distance of 8.85. Okay, let's go back over there. That should have not gone. Okay, for some reason. Oh, put a center line in there. Okay, we're going to do a Control Z on this. Okay, there it is. So we'll take that, because it was a center line. Take that out, and we'll go ahead and dimension this again. Okay, I'm going to take that out. There we go. Dimension this again. And we'll say Control V. Better. All right, I like that better. Okay, so now I'm going to hit the T key to trim. I'm just going to trim this out. Good. We'll come down here and do a mirror operation of this. Use our mirror line here. Put that right there. Good. Got that up here. Hit the trim command. Okay, it's looking good. Got to put that centerpiece in here. So let's go back and look at that. All right, so the distance from here to there is 24.693. We're going to copy that to the clipboard. Go back over here to this guy. We'll just put a line in here somewhere. I don't know where, but right there. And we'll put a dimension in from this here to there. And we're going to say that's Control V. I don't know if that's correct. We're going to try that. No, it's not correct. Okay, so what we'll do is Control Z, and that distance from, let's go ahead and take this out. I'm going to say from this line here to there. Okay, so I think I know what to do. Control V, I'm going to put ×2. Okay, that got it. All right, a little bit complicated, but you get the idea. So we'll mirror this here, select our center line there. Okay, hit OK. Now let's go do the trim. Trim this out, trim this out, trim this out. So now we've got geometry that we can copy over here to the other side. Let's go ahead and do that now with the mirror operation. Roll out here, make sure we get everything we need from there. Looks good. I don't need that point, so get rid of that. Select my mirror line. There it is. And I'm missing, go back up here, I need to get that too. Hit OK. Good. Got it in. Yeah, let's trim this up. It's T command trim. Looks good. Trim this out. Trim that out. I think I can trim this and trim that out as well. All right. That's looking really good. Okay, I think we got what we need for the basis of that. Let's go check the extrusion length. I think it's 3.175. Let's measure that again. Yeah, oh, it's 4 millimeters. Okay, we'll take that. We'll come back over here, hit the E key to extrude, and I'm going to grab this shape, and I'm going to hit distance, Control V of 4, and there it is. Okay, so we got that done. Now let's stop here for a minute and come back. All right, second time's a charm. I didn't have my microphone turned on, so we'll do this again. So we'll go ahead and design on this plane here, put our tabs in, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to design these tabs. I kind of already know the dimensions because I checked them. They're basically 5.7 on that, and then I'm hitting my tab key, and that's 2.7. And that basically gives us room to put the tab into the actual suspension parts with a little clearance, because printers overprint, so we make these a little smaller. Okay, now let's go back to the fixture here and let's double check some measurements. Okay, I'm going to roll out here. I'm going to hit the I key to inspect, go from there to there, which gives me a measurement of 3.15. I'll copy that to the key, to the clipboard, and I'll put a dimension in from here to here, and we'll say paste that in, move that over. That looks good. Go back to the fixture here, hit another inspect from there to there. And again, that's 3.15. We'll take and copy that to the keyboard, hit our dimension command here, and put that in. Now, one of the things that I should have done before I started this is I should have put a center line in. So we'll go ahead and hit the L key for line, and we hit center line up here. We'll grab the midpoint of that outside projected surface, grab that. We've got a center line in there now. And now I'm going to come over here and do another one, except, whoops, let's do that again. We'll put another center line in, make sure it's that center line. Find the midpoint, there it is. Take it all the way to that edge. We'll come back to that as to why later. So now let's go ahead and mirror operation this guy right there. Let's find our center line, which is this guy here, and there it is. Very good. Okay, so next we'll go and place a rectangle by center. I'm just going to put it somewhere right in here. And again, our sizes are the same. They're 5.7. Whoops, not 5.0. Let's double click on that again. Double click on that. 5.7. Okay, put that in there. And that should be a dimension of 2.7. Okay, all right, that's in there. So let's go back to this and let's catch a measurement using our I key for inspect. We'll measure from here to there. And that says 7.1023. We'll copy that to the clipboard. We'll come back over here to this, hit dimension. We'll come in here to there. Whoops, we don't need an angle. Dimension again, here to there, and we'll just paste that number in from before. All right, that looks good. Now we'll roll out here a little bit, and we're going to use a mirror operation. We're going to move this out of the way because we're going to use our shift key. I'm going to hold my shift key down. Got that. Keeping with my shift key down, I'm going to get this. I'm going to come over here with my shift key down. I'm going to get that. I don't know why it highlighted that point, but we're going to get rid of that and that. Whoop, I'll get rid of these two. Okay. Now we'll go and find our middle center line and put that in there. That looks good. All right. Hit OK. And now we'll hit our E key, but let's double check that measurement because I can't remember everything. We'll do a inspect again. Go from that point to that point. We'll copy that. It says 2.75. Come back over here to this guy here, and we're going to do our extrude, and we'll hold our shift key down. We're going to hit the E key for extrusion. Grab that with our shift key down. Grab this, grab this, grab this, grab that. Oh, I gotta get the second part. And then grab that. Then we're going to do a Control V, and there it is. Okay, so we got our part design, our alignment tool. Now let's hit our A key and let's come up with a different kind of color. I'm going to drag this back over here so you can see it. I'm just going to put yellow on there because I need something to differentiate from the green that we're using on our suspension parts. Okay, that looks great, and we'll come back to this now and create the assembly of the two suspension parts. Okay, so now let's go ahead and save this file real quick, and let's create a okay. And we're going to go ahead and turn this on here. I don't need that anymore. We'll get rid of that. So there's our front suspension. We finished that one. We'll get rid of that. And we'll keep this up because we use it a lot. But again, we're going to create an assembly where it allows us to place these two in here. Now, you've probably heard me say in class before, with 3D modeling, it's like playing chess versus playing checkers. And this is going to be a very good example of what I'm talking about. So we're going to do this. We're going to save this file as SSSC V8 front and rear. Use an ampersand. Front and rear suspension. Now this is going to be kind of interesting how I do this. You're going to have to really follow closely with what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my parts library over here, and I'm going to grab that front suspension. I'm going to put it in here like that. Okay, just go ahead and hit OK and put it in there so it's grounded. So this is the front suspension. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the suspension alignment tool in there. Oh gosh, that's big. That's all right. We knew it was going to be big. But now we need to rotate that. Actually, we don't need to rotate that. We need to lower it below the car. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Hit OK for that placement, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab this one little point, midpoint right here. So I'm hitting my joint command, tab that over a little bit, move that over, hit that point right there, just in that orientation. So now what I'll do is roll out, or double click on my middle mouse button. I'll come up to this, and let's double check what I did. Double check. Okay, I got that point there, and I'm going to rotate this up, and I'm going to join it to right here. Okay, it's in. That's good. We hit OK, roll out, come over to the top view. Let's see what we got here. Hope I did this right. Yeah, I did it right. Okay, that's good. That's exactly what I want. Yeah, it's kind of offset here. That's kind of wonky looking, but do not be concerned about that. That's the clearance we needed for our 3D printer if it overprints. So here comes the fun part. What we're going to do is we're going to place this rear suspension. Now I will have to rotate over 180 degrees. In fact, I'm just going to slightly rotate that so I can see that field hit 180 degrees. Now I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to do a temporary joint. So bear with me on this. Let's go ahead and close that off. We don't need that anymore. We hit the J key for joint. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to temporarily grab that point right there, rotate this around, and I'm going to roll up here on this, and I'm going to hit joint right there. You're probably saying, okay, Platt, what are you trying to do here? Well, let me show you. Again, we're playing chess. We're not playing checkers. We're looking at two moves down the design process. Okay, so that looks joined pretty good. Remember, get our pencil out and our Post-it out. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to measure from here to here. Okay, that says 130 point. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard. I'm going to write that down, 130. And that's going to be 0001. Not that I need it that accurate, but we're going to go with that. So we're going to hit close. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to delete that joint we just put in. We wanted that measurement. I'll show you why. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy right here, just kind of move it up here out of the way. I'm going to rotate around, and I'm going to hit a joint of right there with the joint of right here. Well, wait a minute, Platt. That's not what we probably should be doing. That's okay. Now watch this. I'm going to take and highlight this field here and Control V. You're saying, well, Platt, that was the same thing we had before. Yeah, you're right, it was. But here's the difference. On this one, it's going to allow us to create this assembly, which we're going to save right now. Hit save. And then we'll come up here to object visibility. We'll turn our joints off because I don't need to see those. Actually, I'll try that again. Joints off. Okay, don't need to see that again. Save our file. Okay. Now the reason I did that joint from this end to this end, I'm going to delete. I'm going to get rid of that alignment tool from my overall assembly. But I need it now so I can place it in the actual model. So we'll go back to our V8 assembly. There's a suspension. We're going to kill that, turn that off. We're going to save. We're going to go here. We're going to save this file. Okay, because we're going to use that later. Now we're going to come over here to the V8 frame assembly. All right. Now the fun begins. Okay, so we'll go ahead and show all our parts. We're going to come up here and hit a refresh, and it should show us that assembly. We're going to pull that over here and put it in here. Okay. Now, in the world of make-believe and pretend, we're going to pretend that this joint is going to be like how we're going to actually assemble this file. I'm going to pull this out a little bit here and watch what I do. I hope this works correctly. Let's see. We hit OK for that location. And I'm just going to take and hit a joint, this. And we're pretending like we've put glue on the top of this green one. And I'm going to rotate this up. Got glue on the bottom of this, however which way you want to do it. And we're going to join that. Hit OK. Roll out. And voila. there is our aligned assembly of this particular car. You're saying, Platt, you don't want to keep that in there. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to keep that in there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to find that alignment tool, which is this guy here, and I'm going to edit in place that assembly, okay? And I'm going to come here, and I'm going to snap onto this, right mouse click, and I'm going to delete it. Yep. Okay, I'm going to get out of edit in place, and there it is. I've placed my front suspension in there correctly. You can see the gap over there for the gear, and this is placed in correctly. This is cool. So let's kind of recap what we just did. I created this assembly, this suspensions assembly, and that's why that second joint is so important, because when I delete this alignment tool in this file here, these two are perfectly joined together at the correct and right distance. That's what we needed to do. Let's go ahead and look at this at a side view. That's a bottom view. Rotate this around. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking this. Okay, I'll stop here for now.